I welcome JS Wind. It's so good to have someone from our industry really cheerleading or really leading the sector. And since he has joined, we see a lot of good changes in the sector. And thanks ADG Medart for being here. So let me assure you, sir, we will be meeting you much more frequently. And I can promise you we are going to do more than 2.5, 3 gigawatt of wind capacity over the next 2, 3 years in Maharashtra. Let me start with some numbers because we are celebrating Global Wind Day and we should know the importance of wind in our day-to-day life. So this year has been very critical for us because as a wind industry globally, we are going to cross 1,000 gigawatt hours of wind installed capacity. So last year in 2022, we closed it with 940 gigawatt. We expect another 115 gigawatt to be added globally. So definitely somewhere in the middle of 2023, we will be crossing 1,000 gigawatt of installed capacity. And why it is so important for us? Because 10% of the global installed capacity in power sector is of wind. 6.6% of the energy generated worldwide is of wind. And this is just a beginning because we took almost 33 years to reach to 1,000 gigawatt of installed capacity. What is the projection from GWAC is that it is going to take just 7 years to reach to another 1,000 gigawatt of capacity addition. So by 2030, we will be almost 2 trillion watts. So we will be almost 2,000 gigawatt by 2030. So that's the kind of growth globally is expected in wind. We are going to add 115 gigawatt this year, which will keep growing at the rate of 12% CAGR as per the different reports. And same is the thing that we are noticing in India. So we have 42 gigawatt of installed capacity in India, which is almost 10% of 416 gigawatt of total installed capacity. Wind contributes to 4.5% of the energy produced in India. Having said, wind was having some challenges, which we will discuss, and things are really improving. And very similar numbers are in Maharashtra. 5 gigawatt of installed capacity, and again, 10% of the total installed capacity of Maharashtra. So very similar trend, 5% of the energy generated in Maharashtra is contributed by wind. Having said, we see two trends. So if we talk about Maharashtra, we are seeing a lot of bad years in the past. So hardly negligible capacity being added in the last 3 years in Maharashtra. But if you go down into details, we have 3 CTU substations in Maharashtra. We have Vashi, which is Kalam substation. We have Sholapur, we have Parli. There is a 2.6 gigawatt of connectivity from wind developers which has been blocked here. Maximum being in Kalam substation. 2 gigawatt has been blocked. And we all know that we have to commission it before June 2025. Because after that we know there is going to be a hit on the transmission charges. And that is the reason why I was telling ADG MEDA that we are going to be frequently visiting MEDA. We have to commission this 2.6 gigawatt by June 2025. This year, commissioning might be low. It might be only 200, 300 megawatt as per our estimate. But next financial year, it will be a significant capacity addition. So a lot of help is required at MEDA's end to clear our project clearance licenses, to do multiple other things for which we depend on MEDA. So we have 2 specific requests from MEDA. One is if more IT enablement can happen to clear this so-called project clearances. We understand already a lot of strength building exercise is happening at the MEDA's end, but this is going to be very, very critical if we have to do 2.5, 3 gigawatt in the next 2 to 3 years. Our second request to MEDA was, look, there are a lot of IPPs in wind who are from Pune. But if we talk to them in private, they say they are not keen to develop projects in Maharashtra. The simple reason is there is a serious law and order problem and there may be a perception in Maharashtra. And that is where we again need help both from the central and the state government. We seriously request if Deputy CM can chair a meeting where the collector and the SPs from these 3 or 4 districts where most of this wind is about to come are present along with the industry, and we can communicate that this distrust of ROWs and law and order problems can be really sorted out. Otherwise, Maharashtra, despite being the 4th largest in India in terms of state having wind potential, it's almost 88 gigawatt of wind potential, and we are sitting at 5 gigawatt, will really not grow in the wind sector. If we don't really bridge this kind of gap between the industry and the target that the central government has. Similarly, coming to the center, so these are the 2 things that we require from Maharashtra. And we are not going down to what we require from the energy department. We will submit a detailed letter. As there is no representation from the energy department, we will separately deal with those issues and talk to the concerned officials. Coming to the central government level, so again a similar kind of story. We were doing very badly in the last 3-4 years. In fact, last year has been reasonably okay. We did 2. And let me remind one more thing before I finish Maharashtra. There was a year, 2013-14, when Maharashtra added 1 gigawatt of wind. So it is not that what I am telling has never been done. So we can definitely add 1 gigawatt plus in Maharashtra. So coming back to the center, so last year has been good. We did 2.3 gigawatt, which is 4th largest in terms of annual capacity addition, which is the highest in terms of annual capacity addition in the last 4-5 years. This year we see significant jump. We are expecting 5 gigawatt plus of installations. Obviously, this has not been done overnight. Lot has been done by MNRE, lot has been done at the industry level. Now the key issue is implementing the 4 policies. When I say the 4 policies, I say the first and the foremost is the implementation of the bidding plan. It's an excellent move by MNRE. They are saying that 10 gigawatt of bids will happen in this financial year. The first EOI of that bid has already been announced. So we are seriously again requesting MNRE that this needs to be implemented. This will really help taking wind from currently whatever 2.3 gigawatt last year, 5 gigawatt this year to a reasonable level. In fact, just to remind all of you, when we say we are 42 gigawatt and the world is at 1000 gigawatt, we are at 4.2% of the world installed capacity. Now, these ratios are reducing year on year. Last year, we just did 2.3 gigawatt while the world did 78 gigawatt. This was hardly 3%. Even a country like Brazil is doing more than us now. So we have done very badly, but we need to come back to the level of maintaining at least 5% of the capacity addition worldwide, which means 5 gigawatt minimum installations every year. So this bidding pipeline of 10 gigawatt every year will really resolve this, and we will be able to maintain this. The second most thing which we are very closely monitoring is the implementation of ISTS open access. So there has been, this is an excellent policy from MOP. If I see as a company which focuses on C&I, if I have a pipeline of 300, 400 megawatt on intrastate, I have a pipeline of more than 1 gigawatt on interstate. The volumes are big. Most of the industries are locked in the geographies where there is no wind or solar, and all the heavy steel industry, cement industry is more on the west side or on the east side of India, while the renewable is on the other side. And interstate is very important, but everybody has apprehensions. There is no single transaction which has been completed. So we all are very closely monitoring this whole ISTS, and if it really gets implemented well, I can tell you this will be 50% contributor to the overall addition. We all have been by now dependent on utility. If this gets done, we will really build it. So the third thing is LPS. So first of all, let me thank MNRE and MOP. If the LPS scheme would not have been there, I would not have been standing on this dais here. Situation was really bad. LPS really improved the things, but then we as an industry is seeing missing links. We see in Andhra and Telangana, they are asking us not to upload our invoices in Prapti portal. We are seeing similar problems. Some problems are also in Maharashtra. We haven't been paid after December. So this whole drive, which was so positive for the industry, should not lose the shine. I can understand it is more of an MOP issue, but as MNRE representative is here, I again urge this whole trend of whatever rectification we did on the back of LPS should continue. And the last one, offshore wind, very well said by JS Wind. It's a very decent development, 37 gigawatt of offshore wind, strategy paper is out, Model 3, which means CBAT-based based bidding, 2 versions of the document is already out. Hopefully, the last version will be soon out. And we see worldwide trend also, industry is moving towards offshore wind. In fact, in Europe, the bid tariff of offshore wind is cheaper than onshore wind, cheaper than solar. So it's a matter of time. If we really invest in offshore wind, it can be a big sector for India. So these are my minimal points.